Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jackie Cope, and I'm here to talk to you about all things life, healing, and happiness with the spiritual indigenous approach. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm here at the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio in Anza, California, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you for clicking play and to join us on this podcast episode today. Today is episode 9. I'm so excited to be here on this amazing journey. Today's episode is all about embracing the unknown and journeying through your chakra system. So this is a little bit of a mix, but it all ties together. I wanted to talk about taking big steps and trusting your intuition and how you can do those things with the help of your chakras. So it all comes back together at the end. Before we get started here on our episode today, I would like to do our invocation. Dear Creator, please make me a pure, incorruptible channel of loving, healing, divine presence, and provide me with all the protection, guidance, and wisdom I need. Only allow the divine and healed to be present with us today. And as I say those words, I want to make sure that what I'm explaining today really just comes through light and love. So my podcast is about life, healing, and happiness, and it's just my thoughts, my opinions. I definitely encourage you to go out there and hear other thoughts and opinions. My answers are not the end-all be-all. They're just one lived experience. So always be out there looking and listening and collaborating and meeting other people to hear their stories as well. We can learn so much from each other. Back to our podcast episode today, embracing the unknown. So lately, I've been taking some really big steps, and I wanted to talk about taking those big steps and what goes into it. So taking big steps in life is really important. There's always going to be times where we're unsure, we might get insecure, we're scared if we're picking the right answer. The best thing you can do is just decide, make a decision, and go for it. And be thankful that choices were available to you as well. So even though big steps can feel intimidating, they can bring us so much benefit. They can bring us light and love and joy. So I wanted to share a little bit about some of the big steps I've been taking and how I listen to some divine messages through those big steps to feel more secure in those big steps. I have a podcast a few episodes back about listening to divine messages. They're there for us all the time. So I got a new one today. So the big steps I've been taking is I'm a writer. Love writing spiritual material, metaphysics, personal self-help. The thing I've been working on lately has been my education book. And so I feel really confident in that. That's what I have my doctorates in. I love education. I've been working on this book for years and been taking some big steps, finishing it up, going through the process of all of that. And today I had to go through the regular process of copywriting material. When I had logged on today, I did the whole process, filled it out. I hit submit, and it takes you back to the landing page. And it had said on August 25th, I had submitted a copyright for Raven Rabbit. And then today, on September 25th, I had submitted the copyright for this book I'm writing. And I saw that number 25 and I was like, wow, this is a divine message. I need to look into this. I've been hearing about angel numbers a lot. This is something new I'm going to be learning. It's presenting itself now. There's no coincidence that I was here exactly 1 month ago on the 25th, submitted it, and am now here on the 25th again of the next month, submitting my next big project. Because all of these things that when you're submitting for copyright, like, you're taking a big step, you're committing to your work that you're doing. And I was feeling pretty insecure this weekend about it. I had gone through the process on Amazon, tightening up all my editing and stuff, and I wasn't feeling the most confident this weekend. Those things start creeping back in, and I started having some of those negative thoughts. Am I doing the right thing? Is it the right message? Will it be perceived right? I start worrying about those things, which is natural. It's good. I need to care about what I put out into the world. But I also don't need to be derailing what I can offer and add value into the world. So I saw that number 25 today, and I said, I'm researching this. I have to look into this. This is a message for me. So I went to research on the internet, and I typed in the meaning of angel number 25. And I came to a really great website, and I started reading about the number 25. And it could have not been more aligned with exactly what I just told you. Number 25 was all about taking big steps in life, but with harmony and following your intuition. And I thought, this is it. Like, the number 25 means transformation. Things are changing. I'm no expert on angel numbers. I mean, I'm sure I'm getting some of this wrong, but the message I needed is what I heard. I have big transformations coming. New horizons are near. I need to follow my intuition and go ahead and do it. So that was really great to read today and hear and to see. So I was just so happy that those numbers really stuck out to me today. Like, I saw 25, 25, and it was just like, they were jumping out of the computer at me, like, look me up. There's a reason you're here again on the 25th doing this work that's really hard. It's hard to believe in yourself sometimes. It's hard to get out there. So, okay, here's the website. I found it. Tiny Rituals is the website I found, and I'm gonna read what it says because I just loved it. It says, what does it mean? 25 angel number means that major life changes could be on the horizon, and that now is a perfect time to strengthen your sense of intuition so you can lean into trusting yourself. This was exactly what I was dealing with my insecurity of moving forward with my book I've been working on. So to hear that message today was exactly what I needed. So it reaffirmed that, yes, I need to take these big steps in my life. I need to continue working on my writing, continue working on this business and career, and keep going. Taking these big steps have helped me grow as a person, and I have transformed in so many ways. I used to have a lot of deep insecurity issues, questioning what I was doing, wanting to please everybody as I went, and those things come up for me. There's something I still have to work on, but there's a fine line, I think, between wanting to do the right thing and make sure your products are good, and also just not doing anything and being frozen because you're so afraid of what the feedback will be. I just want to make sure at this point, like, yeah, I'm going to do what I'm being called to do. I want to do it to my best ability, and that's what I have, and I'm going to accept that, and that is perfectly okay. So when you're thinking about taking these big steps in your life that you've been thinking about, are you going in it with everything you have? Have you meditated on it? Is it calling you? If you're saying yes to those things and you feel like this is meant for you, then take the big step. If you're going in it with positive, high vibrations, then it's the right thing for you to do. So that takes me into the second part of this podcast today, which is trusting your intuition. That's something I've really had to work on. Intuition really drives a lot of our decision making. We have our conscious mind, we have our logical thoughts. It's the way that our current society has been set up. We do a lot of science-based research. I'm an academic person. All of the research base, it matters to me. I care about that stuff. But then at the end of the day, I need to go internally. I need to connect to that subconscious level, which is back into the universe and back into the higher self, and ask myself what decisions are really right for me. So consciously, I've done the research. I know what's out there. I've read from reputable sources, and then I bring it all back home and I meditate on it. And then I follow my intuition and I let it guide me. It helps guide me to other reputable sources, to a decision, to sometimes more questions that I hadn't considered yet. So as I do that reflective state, I listen to what's being told to me, and then I take my next steps from there. And that's where we start getting into a little bit of the chakra stuff. And that's why I wanted to bring it up. Because you can take all the big steps, follow your intuition, but we really need to make sure that your chakras are being acknowledged in this work. But we'll get there. Still talking about intuition. I talked about how it does differ from our logical thinking. Like I told you, I'm very academic. We got a research question. We're going to find facts. We're going to find information. When you do intuition work, it doesn't always follow that linear path. It could take you wherever it needs to take you. One way I love to do intuition work is through my third eye. I like to do candle light meditation, which is what I learned in my metaphysics program at the University of Metaphysics. You sit down at eye level with a candle that's lit, and you stare into the flame. And now I really love this. Being an Indigenous person, I feel that I see and enjoy the flame people as I'm doing this. I see them dancing, I see them celebrating. Their energy is just high. They're so happy. They're usually rejoicing when I come to the candlelight to do candlelight meditation. And I will do my breathing in and out, staring at the candle flame. And then after quite a few breaths, I then close my eyes and meditate. And that has helped me train my third eye to be able to focus on it and see it. Initially, when you close your eyes, we know that scientifically you're staring at something, you're going to see that light in behind your eyelids. And so that initially was an orange, red, yellow color for me because it's the color of the flame. But as time went on and I practiced this, and I don't always need the candle to do it, I can just close my eyes and see my third eye now. My third eye is very purple blue, sometimes hot pink. And so when I see that, I connect and I start letting all channels become open and receiving information that I need to make these decisions, to guide my thinking, and just to hear messages that I want to be open to that I might be overlooking. So that's the difference between logical thinking and intuition work. Intuition has definitely led me down some very positive paths to just follow my gut and go with it. Like I told you before on my metaphysics past in a past episode, I just stumbled across metaphysics. Like I was searching, I wanted something, and I was looking and searching online, and I finally did come across the school that I am still attending, University of Metaphysics, and it was good to listen to my intuition and just go for it. And just sign up for the program. That's again taking a big step. I made a declaration that yes, I want to learn this. I want to be committed to this. So it was part of using my intuition and taking a big step. And it has led me to so many positive things through doing that work. I have my business that's based in that work. I work with great clients. I feel very connected back to the universe and nature. I have stronger relationships, and I can handle my strong emotions from being an empath in a much healthier way. So lots of benefits from following my intuition. So like I said, chakras played a big role in this. And I've talked about this before. My last episode was about your entry point into spirituality. It could be anything. And something I think I forgot to mention in that episode was I became very interested in chakras. And so I started buying some books, reading some information, again, going through my logical way I like to do things. I am an academic person. I started reading all the books, listening to all the podcasts. I wanted to learn as much as I could about chakras. And I'm currently reading a really great book about the 12 chakra system, because I know there's many. I started with the 7 because that's about what my brain can handle, and you get a lot of information. And now I'm reading about the 12 chakras. And so I just want to say what each chakra is, because maybe you're unfamiliar, you've never heard of it, and we can talk about it from there. So you can just do a quick search online, what are the chakras, and you'll find lots of information. Be careful with what you consume. At the base, in your pelvic floor, sometimes a little bit below your space there, we have our root chakra. The root chakra is red, and it's about stability, comfort. It's the foundation. The next one up from there is, for women, near the uterus, so in that lower pelvic part right here, the lower stomach, the sacral chakra is there, and it is orange, and it does get into pleasure, sexuality, and what I really like about it, creativity. So a lot of my creative stuff comes from that chakra. Next one up is in our stomach. Our solar plexus chakra is about our power, our strength, and our confidence. Next, we get more familiar with these. These are things we think about because we can feel in our heart. So we have our heart chakra. That's where love, compassion, kindness comes in, and it is green. The next one up is one that I was unaware of, that I had a psychic medium tell me was blocked, and that is my throat chakra. And that is blue and all about communication. So when I first started this work and getting into my spirituality, hearing that my throat chakra was blocked, I had to do some homework because I didn't even know what that meant when I heard it. But it made a lot of sense about how my insecurities and things, and how voicing my feelings. So it made sense. Then up from there, by our forehead, between our eyes, we have our third eye chakra, which is your imagination, and most importantly, what we've talked about tonight, your intuition lies there. So that chakra we really want to open up and nourish so that we can receive messages from the divine, from the universal consciousness, and our higher self to start making great decisions and taking those big steps. And then right above us, above our head, is called appropriately the crown chakra. And I typically make this chakra white because that's what calls to me, but there's different variations out of there. And the crown chakra is all about spiritual connection. I'd also like to add, I like it white as well, because in the medicine wheel with indigenous beliefs, north is typically white, and the north represents spirituality. And so I like to think of my crown chakra as my true north. So there's a little indigenous connection there. So those are our 7 basic chakras. Each one serves a great purpose. When one is blocked, it affects the whole system. We can think about our chakras in a linear fashion, because we start at the root and we work our way up through our body. And if our foundation is off, it's going to put everything else out of whack. If your crown chakra is out of balance above your head, energy doesn't have anywhere to go to expel. So that negative energy or traumatic energy or anything like that can just get stuck and become stagnant within our field and within our body. So chakras are very important in helping you take those big steps that you're thinking about taking. If you have some deep insecurities about steps and you're unsure about what to do, that could be your solar plexus chakra telling you that it's blocked, it needs work, because it's all about our power and our strength and who we are at our core. That's why we say who we are at our core. That goes back to our solar plexus chakra. If you're trying to take big steps and you feel like nobody's hearing you, that could go back to our throat chakra. We might be having a blockage there where our communication needs healing and it needs work. I could just bounce around and give examples off all of these. If your heart isn't in what you're trying to do, like I said, if you're aligned and you know that this is the step you're supposed to take, your heart chakra is going to be open. You're going to go into this with love, peace, understanding, and things are going to align. If your heart chakra is blocked and you're just doing the things that you want to do because of your ego, you're going to hit some roadblocks. Your ego is the one telling you, you deserve this. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be famous. Like all of these worldly things that are a reward is where our ego can come in and kind of take over. So we want to make sure we check in with our heart chakra, become balanced with it, and make sure we're leading out of love and compassion. When our chakras do become aligned and we feel a balance in our chakras, we can really start tapping into that intuition and really start making great quality decisions, subconsciously and consciously. We will only start accepting things into our field that are meant for us, that we know are in alignment with our values and who we are. And so doing that chakra work, to me, has been all of the difference in how I approach life. And that's the podcast is all about life, healing, and happiness. The chakras encompass all of that for me. So tying this all back to my business that I run, Raven Rabbit, I've had to make lots of numerous big decisions on just daily things of owning a business and making sure that I'm always following my chakras, my higher guidance, my higher self, and making sure I connect back is what drives my mission here at Raven Rabbit. I incorporate my indigenous knowledge that was either passed down to me through family or that I've ancestral have tapped into via meditation. And my metaphysical practices are throughout everything I do because it has that holistic approach, that universal approach that just aligns with my soul being so much. So that drives all of the products and services that I have at Raven Rabbit. And starting this company was a big step. I always knew I wanted to own a company. I always thought it would be much more simplistic and something that I felt really confident about, where this business is, to me, very complex. It's beautiful. There's a lot of decisions to be made as I go through and offer the services that I do, and everything is just tailored to my clients. So there is no cookie cutter solution for what I do. Like, I wanted to own a bakery, so the cookie cutter example is perfect. I'm not just sitting in the back cutting out all these pretty cookies and then selling them as is for the masses. The work I'm doing here is really personalized, which adds another layer, which I love. So if you're thinking about starting a business, my advice to you would be to make sure that it really aligns with who you are, your values, and your soul. So that way you have the persistence to keep up with it and to dedicate the time that it takes, and to also set those boundaries, because I know now, since doing my chakra work, that before I wasn't taking care of myself. And that is top priority in making sure that I can give the best of myself out into the world. So with all of that, I'd like to give you some practical tips on taking big steps, following your intuition, aligning your chakras. Some practical tips for taking big steps are to listen to your intuition, listen to your core gut feeling. So that's that sacral, your solar plexus chakra. We need to make sure those are in line. Is your gut in line? Is your heart in line? Is your third eye chakra in line? Are they seeing the same vision with that big step you're going to take? You know in your gut, you know in your heart, and you know in your third eye that this is the step I need to take. This is what's going to get me to where I want to be. So that is my first practical tip. Next, with taking big steps, always make sure you're giving yourself grace, admiration, and celebration. Something I've always skipped over in my life was celebrating taking big steps. It's a huge deal. It means so much. When you go out there and put yourself out there for your friends, for your family, for clients, when you put yourself out there and you show the world what you have and what you've made and created, it's such a big deal. And you need to give yourself praise and tell yourself you've done an amazing job. So make sure you celebrate yourself always. Practical tip number 3, I would say, with aligning your chakras, spend time meditating. Spend time with yourself and honor who you are and your values and what is coming through. And if you don't know what to do next, if you want to take a big step and you have no idea what it is, ask your guides to just show you one small step. What's that first thing I can do just to get me started? A lot of times, I've said it a few times in this episode, I'm so academic. Sometimes the first step is I just need to read some things about my idea. I want to see what other people are doing. I want to know the research behind it. That's a small step for me. I haven't made any decisions. I'm just learning and gaining knowledge. So I love to do that. When it comes to aligning your chakras, make sure you're spending time with yourself, like I said, and make sure that you're sending yourself great positive energy. So what I've learned through metaphysics and Reiki training, and something I did naturally on my own, I'm going to have to do a whole podcast about this, is you can send yourself your own healing energy. You don't need to go to healers. Going to healers is a great bonus in life. It's so much fun and it's wonderful. But you don't have to. You can do that healing on your own. That's going to be next week's episode. So what I mean by that is you can literally take your hands and wherever you're feeling that needs some healing, like maybe you don't know in your gut what you're supposed to do for that big step, take your hands, hover them over your gut, and send in loving, caring energy that will help guide your decision-making process. You can find an affirmation and send that through your hands to your solar plexus and say, I can make great decisions, or I know how to follow my gut. You can do those things yourself and give yourself healing, loving energy and loving Reiki. You can give it to yourself. That's probably one of my best tips. You can be your own healer. So, those are some simple things that you can start trying at home while you're on this journey of taking big steps and following your intuition. I am so happy that you guys have been tuning in, listening to me. I watch my little count of who's been listening go up each day, and it makes me so happy to know that you're here listening. I really appreciate you connecting here. Please follow me, subscribe to the podcast so that you get updates, leave a rating. I've been putting questions in that pertain to my podcast. I'll be doing one. The question this week will be about big steps. So if you have anything you'd like to share or a question you want to ask, definitely hop on there and ask away or share away. It's all about building that community. So thank you again so much for being here, and I really appreciate you. If this podcast helped you out in any way, you got a good story out of it, you enjoyed it, it maybe enlightened your day, please share this podcast on any social media you have. Let your friends know about it, your families know about it. That is the best way to thank a podcaster and small business owner. Share away.